using this feature. And the reason it's called peek is there are many scenarios when sometimes you switch to a window to get a phone number or get a name. And we find now that sometimes you can just kind of peek at a window. And you notice I haven't even switched context. If I just move my mouse away, IE will come back because I didn't switch. So now you can just quickly peek at a window and look at the information and go back. And a way to think of peek is a way, we kind of invented a way to switch windows without switching windows. Arrow peek. We're very excited about now that being an integrated part of the taskbar and giving you a lot more confidence about how you work. I should also mention that from a taskbar perspective, we know window management is important. So not only can I peek, I can also just close a window from here directly. And if you actually look at this thumbnail, it's kind of funny. It's a mini window. There's a title bar on the top left. There's some text and a close button. So again, we want that to be very natural and very intuitive. And if I even launch some more windows here, you'll notice it's just a really elegant experience to find the window I'm looking for and just move my mouse around and easily click and switch. Let's also talk about the #1 feature request of all time has been, let me rearrange my windows on my taskbar. And yes, we've finally done it. So in this case, here I have Word, and let me open up that other document again. Oh, that document's open. It's very easy for me to take all those windows and the button and just move it to somewhere else. And again, very intuitive, very natural. Now, by the way, you've always been able to do this with the Windows taskbar in the Quick Launch area, right? You can always pin and you can rearrange. We just brought it to the rest of the taskbar. So we looked at that. Let's go back to IE. IE is arguably the most popular application on Windows. And there's something interesting we saw about IE. And IE and all the other browsers, they are what we call TDI applications. That's Tabbed Document Interface. They're doing something a little fishy up here. If you click one of these things, I'm sure you all know what tabs are. If I go to a website, you notice they're actually recreating the taskbar in their application. Rectangular button, icon, text. Again, IE is not the only app to do it. Many modern browsers have tabs. But we decided because already on the taskbar we have one button to launch, we have one button to switch, and we have one button that represents all the running windows, something fun happens automatically in terms of the design. When you bring your mouse here and I just hover, for the first time you now see tabs as part of a window switching surface. Our joke is kind of these tabs, these child windows, are now on peer with their parents because it's easy to switch to them. And just like you'd expect with the Word scenario, I can peek at these windows, so we can actually look into IE, and I can even click and switch to these windows. So again, one way to do this and very natural. So again, tabs are now normal windows, and you just go to the taskbar, one place to go to launch and switch. But we wanted more. And so what we said was, look, we have this one button to rule them all. And we said, you know, here's the Start menu. Start menu is really valuable, very important addition of Windows 95. And again, it represents the applications or the things you use a lot and tasks you have. And so we scratched our heads and looked at this and looked at this. Actually, there wasn't that much scratching. We kind of knew where we were going. And we said, look, if you had one button, what if we had a mini Start menu for each application? And we call these the jump list. And so here's Word. And if I right-click on Word, I get Word's jump list. And again, think of a jump list as a mini Start menu. It represents the things I do a lot with this application. And we'll talk more about that in just a moment. Another interesting thing we did was we talked about, remember the media player toolbar? And there are lots of other desk bands. Again, a lot of people here use it. We find 3% of sessions use it. And we're like, how can it be more accessible to the masses? Because we still think it's valuable. Well, again, to really impress upon you one place to go, simply move your mouse to Media Player. Again, I'm not even clicking. Move your mouse to Media Player. And what you notice at the bottom of the thumbnail in Media Player is a toolbar. I didn't have to consent to some dialogue to say create it. I didn't have to lose valuable space on the taskbar. All we're saying is in the same place you would launch Media Player, in the same place you would switch to Media Player, you now have one less reason to switch to Media Player. I can easily come here and click play, and I can easily hit next track, and it's just a very intuitive experience that you developers can also extend. And again, one place to go. Within a few clicks, I've completed my task. So thumbnail toolbars are very, very exciting. We also introduced a notion of overlay icons. And so here's the new version of Windows Live Messenger. I can't show you all the UI, but I'll show you. If you notice it's not running right now, when I click on it, it starts to run. And if I sign in, you notice there's a little X that appears, and now it changed to another icon. at the bottom of the screen right here. And so they're using a new API that lets the application speak to the user in a more coherent way in the same button, again, that you used to launch, you used to switch, the way you get to your jump list, and the way that the application can notify you of important information. So let me quickly log out of Messenger. When talking about notifications, it's also worth noting, we can kind of shift to the right side of the screen, the real notification area. And again, we think it's a really powerful area. It's really important. But I should call out that the way you see my desktop right now, this is not some super clean build of Windows 7 that I have that just happens to have no third parties installed. No, this is our promise to you. When you get to your machine, this is how clean it will be in the notification area. And what we said simply was, we have these key things that bubble up that customers care about. And then we have this kind of overflow kind of drawer that you can quickly throw things into, and you alone can customize these. And the last thing I'll show you, the notification area, is those balloons. So here's a balloon that fires. Look at me. Is this alert really useful? And we find out that in many cases it is. In some cases it's not. And so what we did was, built into every balloon, are you ready for this? There is, wow, now it's actually going away. Built into every balloon is a little wrench. And here's my really bad joke. We're going to throw a wrench in the plan of the spammers. And now what you can do is click on this wrench, and it'll quickly take you may not see the highlight on the projector, it quickly bubbles up the process that owns that balloon, and you can easily say, never show me this again. So again, the user in control, one place to go and say, don't bother me. Now, for the spammers who want to keep spamming our customers, every time they fire their balloon, they're going to give the customer a new way to shut off the balloon. So a little social engineering there for your benefit, of course. So I'm running a little behind time, so I'm just going to show a few more features. The start menu, there are several changes, but the thing I'll focus here is that we have this idea of jump list built right here in the start menu. So even something as lowly as Paint now has a jump list, and you can access it here. Let me talk about window ranging. Again, you saw a peek of this, preview of this earlier. You can easily take these windows and organize them on your desktop. Super simple, super easy way, very intuitive. You can take a window and maximize it. Great for multi-mon. All you multi-mon users, you can just grab a window and drag it to the other monitor, and it just works like you expect it to work. So really exciting ways that windows can be ranged. And there are other features. Again, in the interest of time, I can't show them all to you. But again, we want users to be in control. We want them to feel confident. We want them to smile when they're using their PCs. Let me jump back to the PowerPoint presentation. Make sure I'm making some progress here. Now the question is, you've seen the history of Windows, you've seen a demo. The question is, how do you delight your customers? Because this is really what you're here for. And come on, clicker. There you go. The first place we would say in terms of how do you connect with your customers is the icons. And the thing we call out is really, this is the face of your application. This is the first thing, when you talk about early and often, this is the first thing they see of your application. Before even your splash screen comes up, they're going to see this beautiful icon on the taskbar, so please make sure it is beautiful. We support both large and small icons, so we want you to think of your icons looking great in both settings. Now, it's important to mention that there is no programmatic way for apps to pin themselves to the taskbar. We're really serious about user and control, so only the user can say, I want this application on my taskbar. Hint, hint, if you want to be pinned, make a great app, although I'm sure you all have wonderful applications. Hint number 2, make a beautiful icon. You'll find people like pinning beautiful icons to their taskbar. And finally, there's Color Hot Track. Color Hot Track. That's a really, really fun visual. And pretty much Color Hot Track is a new visual we kind of came up with. And what it does is it's a normalized color histogram across 27 different buckets. And we extract blacks, whites, alpha channels, and grays, and use the most dominant RGB value and paint your button with your mouse. I probably lost everyone there. You know what? Let me show you what that looks like. It demos a lot better than it describes. Of course, I'm sure there are devs out there who are like, oh my God, wait, so no blacks and no whites, no alpha channel, good. So something really interesting, if I actually, let's see if this feature works. I think I focus in when, there we go. So let's do a little zoom in. This is the nausea feature I like zooming in here. So you notice here's Excel, and Excel is not running, so it's there, it's just not alive yet. And here's PowerPoint, running, not alive. And here's Explorer, and you notice if I move my mouse over Explorer, Explorer has an interesting lighting effect that follows